and gentlemen, welcome to the Kirbside podcast. I'm your host, Jay Kirby, joined today by a close friend and wrestling, I guess we could call him a wrestling rival. We've had a match or two, and I've always wanted to work you more.
Yeah,
Philly
exactly.
Mike Swanson,
Oh, yeah.
either the
Let's
most
get it. What's up?
beloved or the most hated wrestler, depending on who you are.
Straight up. Yeah. People either love me or hate me. There's no in between. There's no
There's
like, he's all right. It's like
there's
it's either
there's no
strong hate
middle
or strong
ground.
love. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. We're it's happened a lot with the GTS fellas, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of guys we know that I've known for years that I barely got to wrestle, and
Mhm.
you're one of them. Like we've had a few like multi-man matches, but I
Yeah.
don't think
I
we
don't think
have
we
we
ever
had
got a
I don't
singles.
think there's no way we've had a singles. I would have remembered it.
Mm-mm. Oh,
I
I
have a
would have
good
too.
memory with
Trust me.
wrestling.
I would have
Like
too. But I
right
think we had a couple multi-mans and that's about it.
like Riley says it to me all the time. She's like, "How do you remember so much shit in your matches?" I'm like, "I don't know." Like sometimes I have to see it, like it'll come up
Mhm.
on screen and I'll be oh, it all comes back to me. But
Right.
for the most part, I remember a lot of people I've
It,
wrestled.
it's always like the little things. Like someone brings us a spot, we're like, "Oh yeah, he was in that match with this person and this person. We did this spot." Like everything clicks
Yeah.
after like one mention.
Exactly, yeah. Like me and Pete Corbis, literally, he's one of my first wrestling friends. Like
Mhm.
fucking, he got me into GTS essentially, him and
Mhm.
Tommy. And me and Pete went 4 years without ever wrestling, ever touching each other. And then finally one day Grim was like, "Yo, you want to?" We're like, "Yeah, finally, like let's do it." Hell yeah.
Right?
It's just weird. And then it's never intentional. It just happens. Like there's so much I always said my issue with GTS was
Mm.
I got into too many feuds. I would get into like long rivalries and I'm stuck
Mm.
wrestling the same person for weeks on.
See, my problem was always the opposite. I was never there enough to have feuds. So I'd have like
It
one or two one-offs with somebody and that would be it.
yeah, there's like it's all
And
people have all different
yeah.
situations.
Yeah, and it was
Hell
never
yeah.
like an indictment on Grimm. Me and him talked about that in an interview. Like
Yeah.
I never had any kind of like heat or beef with him because he, didn't put me over for this belt or didn't book me for this. I was like, because I can't be there sometimes, and I
Yeah,
know
it's
where
all
he's
about
coming from.
consistency and shit like that. He's gonna book you off consistency, and
Yeah,
it's once people realize that, people always bit why is Grim and Doo-Hop always the champs? Because they're fucking there.
right. They're
They're gonna
always
be
there.
there. Like
They're always
they'll
there.
be
They're
there.
always going to be there.
Yep. Hell yeah.
But before we dive too deep into this interview, shout out to the sponsors for the podcast, Raise Energy,
Yes.
available at repsports.com. As you can clearly see, fans, I'm not in the office I usually record in because I have moved very, very recently, as of like 2 days ago.
Oh
Um,
wow.
right, got got into town, unpacked the office, the studio, and here we are doing an interview like the next day.
Hell
But
yeah.
just put in a new order for Raise Energy. Go check them out. They're absolutely wonderful. Some of the best energy drinks I've ever had. Some of the best pre-workout I've ever used. Their Broken Arrow is just, it hits just right. But use the promo code Kirbside8 at checkout and check out our other friends, Jerky.pro. Uh, they have some amazing
Jerky.
flavors. Yeah,
Hell yeah. Yeah,
Jerky.pro.
we love some jerky. Hell
Hell
yeah.
yeah. I like their teriyaki flavor, and they've got like I haven't ordered any yet, but they have an exotic meat selection.
Okay.
So they've got like an ostrich, they've got like all kinds of
That's
different
dude,
animals that you
I've
could
gone into some
try.
jerky stores and you don't realize how much shit there is until you walk around and there's like alligator, kangaroo,
Right?
this, that. I'm like, what the hell? And like some of them I've tried. I'm like, okay, it's all right. Some of them is
Mm.
weird, but
Oh yeah.
damn,
Oh
the
yeah.
jerky world is it's interesting.
Oh yeah. So go check them out. Jerky.pro. Same promo code
Hell yeah.
Curbside8 at checkout. Um
Hell yeah.
and with that, Mikey, back to you, my friend.
Oh man.
No pressure. That's
Yeah,
okay. This is
pressure's
only
on.
like my first interview in like 4 months.
Pressure's on.
So I'm kind of easing my way back into interviews with someone that I, know pretty well and can talk to
Yeah.
for hours
We're just
without any
talking.
issue.
We're just bullshitting. This is nothing different than the two of us sitting in a car,
Right?
fucking
Head,
driving to a show.
headed to a show somewhere in
Yep.
BFE, Pennsylvania or BFE, New Jersey.
Yep. That's why I dig these wrestling podcasts, because it's like I said, it's just shit we talk about normally. Just
Yeah.
for some reason, we set up a microphone camera and let everybody watch us and listen to us say it.
And
So
for some
they love
reason
it.
people watch it. So
That's what I
I
mean. They
love the
love it.
support.
Like,
I love
dude, I
the
fell asleep
views.
last night listening to one of my buddies' podcasts. I'm just like, I need something to just listen to as I
Mhm.
cry. And like, I passed it and like left the YouTube one and just ran through. I was like,
Mhm.
yo, bro, like, I gave you a bunch of views last night because my YouTube just like ran through. He's like, I appreciate it. Like, it sounds like an insult, but if you want to help your YouTube buddies out, fall
Right.
asleep to their stuff and then it'll just
I
play through
I've done
all
that for
night. You'll get a couple
GTS
views.
before. Turned on
Uh-huh.
one of the playlists and
Oh,
just
dude,
then
doesn't it
woke up
suck
the
being
next
woken
day.
up in the middle of the night to Grim yelling on the TV?
It
That's the worst shit ever. I've done so many times because like the rest of GTS will be normal volume, and then
Mm.
Grim louder than everybody else yelling into the shit.
Oh yeah.
You just wake up angry. You turn your TV off. Like, yeah, but
So
yeah, hell yeah.
we talked about it a little bit before we started recording. Mikey, where did you get your start? What's your pro wrestling origin story?
Well, it's like two things mixed into one. Like some
Mm.
people are like they have like their yarder days and then they're like
Mhm.
I went pro. Mine's kind of like mixed into one whole scenario. Like I started yarding the same time I started training at a school.
Mm.
So like I mentioned it earlier to you off camera,
Mm.
but Pete and Tommy, Pete Corvus, Tommy Salami, I'm good friends with,
Yeah.
and they essentially, besides like Jimmy, I guess, are the
Mm.
OGs of GTS. Like they were some of the
Yeah.
first ones to show up. Second Grim got the ring, they were there.
Right.
Um, and it was cool because like we were friends and we all watched Grimm's, and they were just like, "Yo, watch the next episode." And I'm like, "All right, like whatever." Like maybe they like seen him at a show or something.
Mhm.
All of a sudden they're walking in the backyard. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, yo, how'd you guys get there? Like, because I've never got to touch a wrestling ring. That was my whole
Right.
thing. I wanted, like, I wasn't even going to indie shows at this point. I was just like, I watched stuff on TV. I would go to WWE shows and like, I just started like going to indie shows kind
Mhm.
of, I guess, around the same time. It's weird. Like, everything mixed into one. Went to my first indie show in 2015,
Mm.
started training in 2017
Mm.
very quickly. Like I only had 2 years as a fan of the indies really before I was like, let me get
Tru
some of this.
Trust me,
Um,
I know how that goes. Like what was it? 2009, 2010. I heard of this company called Ring of Honor. Had never seen it
yeah,
before. But the Daniel Bryan debuted for WWE, and they're like, yeah, this guy's been wrestling for 10 years. And I
and
knew that
that's what
indies
yeah.
existed because I'd seen like flyers around my hometown, but I'd
Hmm.
never gone to an indie show.
Yeah, I was hardcore WWE kid. Like
Yeah.
I felt like I wasn't loyal if I watched anything else. And then like but then I remember just being my dad's flipping the channels one night, and all of a sudden, I see Christian in a ring, and the ring's got six
Yes.
sides.
Yep.
I'm like, what the fuck is this? I'm like,
Yep.
dude? I haven't seen Christian for months. This is where he's
My
at.
mine was the
and
same thing, but with Sting. I was
and
like,
then
wait, this is that company
this
with Sting in it. He
it was
wrestles
three.
here.
I always said I had the perfect introduction to TNA.
Mhm.
It was a Christian Cage promo. He was
Nice.
NWA champ. The next segment was or no, the next match was an AJ Styles match. I forget who he wrestled, but that was my introduction to AJ Styles. I'm like, oh, who's this
And you were
dude?
hooked.
And and then like the next thing I remember after that was the first Kurt Angle vignette. And I'm like,
Oh. Oh,
there's no way they got Christian and Kurt Angle. Like what is this? And then
that
I was just
is
involved in more and more guys I started recognizing. I'm like, what, the Dudleys are here? Like what the
right.
hell? I didn't even know Jeff was there. Like he had a prior stint.
Right.
I just missed him or whatever. He went back to WWE at that point. But so then yeah, like but like you said, guys started popping up in WWE, and like I always knew of the indies you
Mhm.
hear about them, but I had no interest. I liked the big
Mhm.
theatrical spectate of wrestling, WrestleMania, that type of shit. The
Right.
lights, the cameras, the action. So I was like, why would I want to go to this little like grungy shit, you know, in a fucking
Mhm.
warehouse? But then yeah, Daniel Bryan's like and then like the only other thing I was exposed to was Wrestling Society X on MTV.
Okay. Okay.
And
Yeah.
and they had
Yeah.
Tyler Black, and they had like Teddy Hart, and like Tyler Black popped up in WWE, Seth Rollins, and like all these guys. I'm like, okay, I'm starting to recognize some of these guys and
Mhm.
names. So then it wasn't until NXT came to Philly in
Mhm.
2015. It was the first house show NXT did like on a tour, and uh the night before was the Ring of Honor. Was it War of the
Mhm.
Worlds? The thing they did. Um and it was like the New Japan versus Ring of Honor shit they were doing at the time.
Okay.
But the whole time I'm waiting in line for the NXT show, everybody's talking about War of the Worlds, Adam Cole, Nakamura, this, that, and the other, and they're naming all these guys, and I'm like, all right, like
Wait,
this
hold on, hold on.
sounds
Do you
pretty
say
tempting.
2015?
2015, yes.
I think I went to that Ring of Honor show.
You probably
because
did, legit.
that was right when I moved to Jersey. I moved to
They
Jersey
ran
about
2 nights in Philly and then
yep.
2 nights NXT in Philly. It was like
I
4 nights of wrestling.
I got to Jersey roughly May or June of 2015. July. It was July of 2015. I remember that
Yeah,
specifically. And then Nate Mustang hit me up. Well, I was watching Ring of Honor at the time. Like I
yeah.
wasn't like a diehard, but I
That's
definitely
what I
had
mean. I knew about it.
more of a grasp on it than I did years
Hmm.
prior.
Yeah,
He's
I
like,
was
"Hey,
aware.
let's go to Ring of Honor," and it was only an hour away, and it was oh my god, it was I only went to the one night, but it was the night after Jay Lethal versus Roderick Strong, and they went to the
Okay.
time limit draw.
Yeah, nice.
So
So then, yeah, like they're talking about it, and I'm like, all right, like, and then my first actual indie was House of Hardcore at the
okay,
ECW arena, which was
nice.
probably like a month or two after that. And I'm meeting Abyss, I'm meeting Rhino, I'm meeting all these dudes that like
Hmm.
I never fucking thought I'd ever get to
Right.
meet and shit. So I'm like, hell yeah. Uh, and then, um, yeah, the Ring of Honor was coming back. So then I went to my first ROH show, and my first ROH show was Final Battle,
Ooh,
2015, and it was
nice.
AJ versus Lethal for the belt. And nobody knew AJ was WWE bound at this point.
Hmm.
There was no thoughts of it at all. It was like a
Right.
week or two after this when they were like, "Oh, contracts are going to be up and shit like that." And
Hmm.
so I went to my first ROH show, got to meet AJ Styles for $20. Had no idea he was going to WWE. Watched him have a banger main event with Jay Lethal, another one of my favorites
Hmm.
grew up watching. And right away I was just like, all right. I'm like the Briscoes, I found out, like all
Hmm.
these guys. I'm like, dude, like this is it. This is Adam Cole is the fucking dude. Like
Yep.
this is it. And then like I said, around that same time, Tommy and Pete started popping up GTS, and I was like, I need to do like, how do I do this? And I got out to the yard once, and just fucked around. Took
Hmm.
a bump in the ring, not knowing what I was doing at all. Smacked my head. Fucking worst feeling I ever felt in my life. Pete and Tommy laughed at me, like, "Yeah, you'll never do that again, right?" I was like, "Yeah, that fucking sucked." Uh, and then like they, I started taking it serious. I was like, you know what? I want to do this. I want to wrestle. I'm not going to fuck around and just like dream it. I want to do it. So I started coming to GTS more. This is when he was in the first warehouse.
Hmm.
I made my debut. I was one of the clowns at the time.
Mm.
Grim didn't know what to do with me, so I was Adam Rose's cousin because Adam Rose was supposed to be coming to GTS at the
I
time, which
remember
he, I
that.
don't think he came for like once or something. But
He showed up for like a promo
yeah,
because he
yeah,
was supposed to be
exactly.
like going back to WWE so he couldn't compete or something.
That's my when Grim doesn't know what to do with you, he debuts you as a WWE relative. You're just related to this current WWE star. Like Dalton is
Yeah.
related to Kurt Hawkins.
Yep.
Like it these I love these backstories of
Oh yeah.
GTS wrestlers that kind of just drop throughout time. But It's great. So like, yeah, I didn't know how to do shit. I knew how to bump at this point. Like I finally learned how to bump,
Mhm.
but I didn't know how to do shit. So I showed up, I was dog shit. And then I was like, you know what? No, uh, let's go to a school.
Mm.
Let's fucking learn how to do this and then maybe come back. And because most people like yarders are like, I learned in the yard, but my problem with learning in the yard was
Mhm.
50 plus thousand people were watching every fucking video and I look like
Right.
a goddamn idiot. So I'm like, let's not do that. Same time it all, like I said, it's all so close together. It's insane. Found out about Chikara and
Yeah.
started heading on down to Chikara shows and could not believe that it was 20 minutes, not even from where I grew up, and I had no goddamn clue the whole time, and I was pissed about that. Uh, and so then I started going to those shows, and uh, it was the free workshop.
Mhm.
Quackenbush offers a intro to pro wrestling free workshop
Mhm.
where you come in, you learn the bumps, the lockups, all the basic shit you would learn in wrestling training for completely free. See if it's for you. Take a bump, see how you feel the next day. I did that. I could not move the next day. I physically could not get out of bed,
Yep.
but I knew 100% it's what I wanted to do. And I looked up how much is it.
Right.
I did. They had like a couple different systems you can pay for at the time. So I
Mhm.
did like the tier system, and it was basically like a part. Like there was full time, part time. I couldn't do the full time training, so I paid like a part time thing or whatever. I would train there. Uh, and after a couple months there, I was like, you know what? I think I'm kind of ready to get back into the mix of GTS. Kind
Mhm.
of came back with a new look, new attitude, and Grim says it all the time how he uses me as like the prime example of one of the polar opposites of like being absolute drizzling shits at
Mhm.
first and then taking time to take it serious and come back and making something of it. And from there, just it was basically just GTS, a lot of getting reps in,
Mhm.
started doing a lot of seminars from there. And GTS led me to my first couple of bookings
Mhm.
and just it all mixed in everything what led to another and one thing. And there's a there's a lot of people that have the issue of getting stuck with like with training forever,
Mhm.
and I feel like you need to get that mixture of both. You need to have it all. You need to train, you need to get experience in
Mhm.
live shows and then mix it all in, and that's how you get the full experience and ride of
Mhm.
wrestling. Because I hear all the time there's people I trained for 3 or 4 years and haven't had a match. I'm like, what? What the fuck? That's a lot
Right.
of time of your life. And yeah, it's just been full steam ahead since there.
I mean, I get that, and freaking when it came to me training, I probably bugged my trainer to death because every time I got in, I was like, so or anytime I met a person, I was like, so how long did you train before you debuted? Because I just wanted to be in the ring. I wanted to be in the
Yeah,
ring
exact.
so bad.
Yeah.
And I was just like, how long until I wasn't just doing practice matches on like a Saturday morning? So I was
Mm-hmm.
like, how long did you train? How long is the usual expectation? And I just kept bothering them about when am I ready? Am I ready? When can I, eventually got a chance. And if I watch back that match, oh my God, I was awful.
Yeah.
But like
Oh yeah. Hell yeah.
sold my I did what they taught me. I sold my ass off. I got a little bit offensive, then I got beat up. And then I
And
learned.
that's my thing. Like training too long, I guess you
Mhm.
can say, is you get stuck in that just going through the motions kind of thing. I
Mhm.
always say every wrestler I know that's trained forever without getting to work in front of a live crowd, they all wrestle the exact same match. And
Mhm.
they're just like thinking about the next spot and and do this, that, and the other thing. And you got to get that live crowd experience. That's the absolute best way you will move on and get any type of like path in wrestling is learning from a live crowd very early on and mixing that
Mhm.
into your going through the motions of shit like that. Because I watch people fucking, they still don't know how to work a crowd for anything. And it's really not hard. Just talk to them, just engage, just look at them. Sometimes all you got to do is look at them. Just look. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, but there's some people that will go out there for 8 to 10 minutes and they haven't looked at the crowd once. They were looking at the ring and their opponent and this, that, and the other. And like, nah, man, get into it. Enjoy the moment.
Oh yeah. It's ironic. It's because you brought it up. You know, it's weird that I had this one piece of advice from Adam Chandler, and I don't think I ever forgot it. He brought it one time. He goes, "You got to do this," and it gets the crowd into it. And I've thought about it ever since. And that was whenever you kick out, you need to sit up and look at look at the crowd. And I've done that almost now. Granted, I don't do it as good as like Johnny Gargano. He does the over the just a huge kick out,
Mm-hmm.
stares at the crowd. But I've tried to, you know, kick out, look at the crowd, or reach for the crowd to, get them involved in the match. And that stuck with me for some strange reason, just ever
Dude,
since.
I got that exact same advice, but from
Mhm.
Jimmy Rave. And
Oh,
like you said, how it just, that's the one thing that stuck with you. It's the same for me. It's like the number one thing always in my head, not even if they're just a pin or anything. Anytime
mhm.
I take a move or a bump, I'll always find a way to sit up or at least roll over to my stomach.
Right,
Because Jimmy Rave's big thing was you pin, you lose. Why
right.
would you ever voluntarily lay on your back with your shoulders to the mat? And
Yep,
if you're wrestling a 500-pound guy, they can sit on you and pin you right there. Like,
right.
make them put you down. So like, I'll take a move, I'll sit up, I'll have them put me down,
Mhm,
or I'll roll over my stomach and make them roll me over. But yeah, like the sitting up shit, dude.
mhm.
You're always supposed to be selling to the cameras and to the fans how, like, it's just natural. Sit
Oh,
up and
yeah,
show them like, holy shit, this hurts.
right.
Like,
No, I think
and it
and
gives that extra second or two for that, like, God, I have to fucking put you back down to pin you or some shit
right,
like that.
right.
Like, little things. It's awesome.
Um,
I love it.
well, like, because because we both knew Jimmy and he was fucking an amazing teacher, and I still think
Mhm.
about, like, all the things that I probably forgot more that he's taught me than remembered, but, like, the one thing that clicked, and I don't know why it was on this one day, this one particular moment where he said, "What is the heel's job?" And I was like, "Get heat, make the crowd hate him." He goes, "No, it's to make the face look good." And
Mhm.
and I'd been wrestling shit 7, 8 years, and I had never thought of it so simple, so
Yep.
easy, and especially after, my UWC heel run, like, that's what was in my head every time I started to do a match, be like, "Okay, how am I gonna get him," even if I was winning or if I was, losing, I was like, "How do I get him over? How do I get the fans to cheer for him, um, and make him look like a fucking superhero?" And
Yep.
it just stuck with me since.
Dude, it sucks. I was like, me and Jimmy were supposed to have this cool fucking feud and rivalry that was
Mm.
supposed to lead out to Grimomania.
Uh,
And like we started it and it kicked off and like I attacked him outside the ECW arena
mm,
and we did the whole bit where like Gabby Gilbert joined me,
uh-huh,
Onslaught, and like it was like classic fucking wrestling shenanigans bullshit. But we had so
right.
many cool ideas. It was supposed to lead to a South Philly street fight where we were gonna fight on the streets of Philly. Like there's so much cool shit just didn't end up working out. But like looking back at it, I was so not ready for that at the time, like to be working with him like that. And
Oh,
it would have been a great learning experience, but
right.
like fucking yeah, I would not have been ready for shit like that. But sometimes you need that. I always say like you need to get in the ring with people you're not ready for. That's how you get
Yeah,
better. Like you wrestle your friends or you wrestle the same people for years on end. Where the hell is that gonna get you?
right.
Like you gotta fucking put the pressure on.
Yeah. Now I'm glad in my last couple months in Jersey that I got to wrestle some of the people I did. Like I wanted to work Flash in a singles match. Um,
Oh yeah, so much
I
fun.
he's he was a blast. Unfortunately, there was the low ceiling and the high ring for UWC. So I was like,
Yeah.
I got to the show and I'm like staring at the ceiling, go, how the fuck do I book a high flying match with this?
Yeah, that
And
sucks.
we figured it out, and it was awesome. I love that match.
Hell yeah.
Um, I was super, super happy that Cheney's the one that beat me. Like
Nice. Yep.
if I
Nice.
had to have picked anyone to put over for that belt, it would have been Cheney.
Yeah.
And so I was so
Yeah. I
glad that
dropped
he
my
did.
LTW belt to Cheney too.
I
Cheney's
saw
just out here
that. This
taking
man just
straps from us.
collecting belts.
Yeah, he's just
Mother-
taking belts from. He literally. The funny thing is, he beat me. We had like a thing at LTW. He beat me, and then he ran out of the venue and jumped in the car with Fran and legit drove down the street to UWC to go defend the UWC title that same day. He was like, yeah, he's like, I just want to say like, what's up now and thank you now, like, cause I'm not gonna see you after I actually gotta
Right.
go, like, and I'm like, all right, that's great. So I didn't, yeah, he just pieced out. I was like, that's
Oh,
awesome.
that's
I love
amazing.
that shit.
Absolutely. So speaking of which, who are some guys that you would love, absolutely love? Either they be small time indie guys that you just haven't gotten to work, or big time guys that are on like the cusp of getting signed. Like, who would you really, really want to be in the ring with?
There's so many right now. Like the my favorite thing, honestly, of being out on the injury and the
Mm-hmm.
recovery status for these last few months is all the watching I have been doing.
Yep.
Basically, I haven't been having to worry about thinking about my matches or planning shit or doing anything. Like I've just been chilling watching. So like, yeah, I want to get in there and I'm anxious, but at the same time, I've been enjoying it because I get to see more shit from a fan again. I
Right.
get to be a fan again, essentially. So like, I like couple guys that are killing it out there right now that I definitely want to mix it up with is Rocket. Rocket's a dude coming out of Philly who is like
I,
insanely
I think
athletic.
I have met him. I
He's a
have met him. I've
yeah,
been on a show with
he's an
him.
H2O kid. He's
Yeah. Good kid.
he's insane. Daniel Alexander is another one who
I
out of
don't think I've
Philly
met him.
who's just
Nice.
killing it right now. Dude connects with a crowd like nobody I've ever seen before. It's insane. But I want to mix it up with Tarzan again, Tarzan Duran,
Yes.
because me and him
Tarzan
had a match.
Duran.
We wrestled a few times. We wrestled a death match actually the first time we ever wrestled each other.
Sheesh.
And then at LTW, we wrestled for my strap, but we were both like really kind of banged up and beat up that day. So it was a take it easy kind of
Right?
like we just couldn't do a lot of shit. We were
Right.
hurting. Um, but yeah, so I want to be able to have like a cool banger with him. Uh, as far as like intergender wrestling right now, the buzz of the scene, everybody wants to mix it up, is Billy Starks. I want to get in there with
Yeah.
Billy Starks. I wanna fuck her up, dude. Like, come on,
She's been
like
tearing it
Billy
up
Starks
right now.
takes a fucking beating and then shows up for school Monday morning ready to fucking ace her fucking test. Like, bro, you want to talk
Yeah.
about work ethic? That shit
Right?
doesn't exist anymore, but because
Uh
Billy Starks just took it from everybody. Uh Cole Radrick is a good
okay.
friend of mine that I got to get to know over the last few years, just hanging out with GCW and shit. So
Mhm.
me and Cole, we got the we we're in like a multi-man match at the backyard show,
Mhm.
GCW 4th of July.
Mhm.
Uh, and we did like a little spot here and there, but nah, singles with Cole would be a lot of fun. And just I'll top it off with this. Why not? The another one who's absolutely the ace of the indies right now, I gotta say, is motherfucking Jordan Oliver, bro. Like
Yes,
Jordan
bro.
Oliver is like, dude, we are all wrestlers. Jordan
Yeah.
Oliver is on a whole nother spectrum, a whole nother level, a whole nother universe right now. You cannot like I want to wrestle Jordan, but I know he's going to beat the shit out of me, blow me the fuck up,
Right.
out wrestle me, expose me. But that's what I want and need. Like that dude, like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
I said, all right, yo, Onslaught. Onslaught was the biggest. There is not a bigger Jordan Oliver hater than Onslaught. He fucking hated him. He probably
Uh-huh.
still does for all I know. He probably sucking his dick now. But anyway, uh hated him.
Mhm.
We used to go to CCW Dojo Wars, even with
Yep.
like GTS. Like any little indie show, Jordan Oliver, Young, Dumb and Broke, those dudes were
Yep.
popping up on.
Oh yeah.
Uh, and I always said to him, I'll turn to Onslaught. I said, "You're gonna fucking eat these words. He's gonna be a superstar. This dude, like, he's gonna be a goddamn superstar. I don't know what
Yeah.
it is. He was fucking like 17 still at the time or whatever. But like I said, he's gonna be a goddamn star. And look at him. Like
Yeah.
he's not even signed yet. He's not even like he's rolling the indie scene. Imagine
Yeah.
what he can do if he gets on TV.
Oh my
Like the dude,
God.
he's just holy shit. You want to talk about next level professional wrestler right now?
Oh,
Jordan Oliver's the man.
absolutely. Because I
Brett
was
Lauderdale
there.
created a whole JCW title just to have a tournament just to show you how good Jordan is and give him a belt. Like it's insane, dude. He's fucking phenomenal right
I
now.
mean, you and I were there. We saw freaking him and KC as a team and
Yeah, that's what. Yep. And KC too. He's another
yeah,
one. He's doing his fucking thing, man.
how they got
Like,
started, how they started building, and I haven't interacted with Jordan much, but I've been on shows with him here and there, and he's always seemed cool. But damn, he has skyrocketed in the past few years. Like
dude,
he went
it's
from this
insane, man.
and no disrespect to when I says he went from this little flippy kid who
Hmm.
was, athletic and can do the things that he saw on TV to a phenomenon right now.
I always said like people laughed at Jordan when he was
Mhm.
fucking a twig and shit like that. I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, look at Ricochet. Watch early like Chikara with Ricochet
He
and
was a little baby.
Early
Yeah.
Evolve with Ricochet, dude. He is light skinned Jordan Oliver in those fucking matches. Like he's
Yeah.
the same exact body type and he fucking transformed. So many guys can transform. Jonathan Gresham's doing it right now. Like
Yeah.
all these guys are like
God.
it's and that's my whole thing. Like when I'm gonna be getting back in the gym soon, like and I
I'm
just want
going
to
as soon
take
as we're
all
done with the
I did
interview. So like
I
I
I
feel
just
you.
want to take all the time like cuz I was starting to get like steady with the gym and
Mhm.
doing good with that and then the surgery and all that setback but like I just want to come back looking different and just
Right.
fucking like take that part more serious and that's what even like we're talking about Jordan Oliver but shout out Ellis Taylor too. Ellis Taylor's
Yes.
another one right now.
Ellis
Like,
has
dude,
fucking
I
transformed
I
himself.
commented on his picture the other day and said, "Dude, you are like the biggest inspiration right now as far as like just taking it serious."
Yeah.
That's the main thing. Like everybody's like it's hard work. It's this yeah, no shit, bro, but just take it serious. If it's what you
Mhm.
want, you're going to take it serious. Like you got one life to live. Fucking live it. That's what I
Mhm.
like it's not hard. Like shit nothing comes easy, but
Oh, definitely
dude,
not.
like and dude, we used to fuck around and call Ellis Taylor the Tide Pod kid at Dojo Wars. When the kids eating the Tide Pods was like a trend. We also was like, he's a Tide Pod kid. He looks like he fucking and still to this day I see it in my back of my head. I'm like the Tide Pod kid. But now like
My God.
fucking all of them, dude. Charlie Tiger Griffin, the Young Dumb and Broke are fucking killing it.
Yeah,
Like and I love it. I love seeing shit like that. It's awesome.
absolutely. And I'll go back a few more months because you brought up seeing people succeed and seeing them get out there. Um, Max Caster. I was on
Dude,
a
hell yeah.
random 6-man ladder match with him in GTS once, and then had like
Oh yeah.
one little video segment with him and Shook Crew, and now he's the one of the most popular tag teams on the planet, and I
He
couldn't be more
he's
happy
another one,
for him.
man. You just knew. Like
Yeah,
the second you met and worked with Max and like you just knew. You're like,
yeah.
this dude's gonna be
I
killing it one
I'm
day.
mad that I didn't get to work him more before he got big because now
And
he's
my favorite thing about Max is the Max you see on TV is nothing different from GTS or
yeah,
Dojo Wars or Indie or Creative Pro. Like the Max on the end, like he didn't have to change up nothing. He got over as fuck for just being himself, and I
yep.
love that. I love that shit.
I th- and
They
I
they put
think
the Acclaim together, and you watch their debut, and even
yeah,
like Bowens and like they talk about it, like how cringe it is. They were set up to
yeah,
fail, dude. They put together. They were like, holy shit, like this is gonna be a fucking job
right.
squad. Holy fuck. They prove them wrong. I love it.
Well, I mean,
I love that the goal of AEW is get yourself over. Get
right.
yourself over, bro. That's what it should be. Fuck
Well, I mean,
determining who's over.
you're kind of the epitome of that in my opinion. Like
That's
you are someone who definitely goes out there and 1000% just turns yourself up to 11, because I know you outside the ring and I've seen you cut a promo and sometimes I can't tell the difference.
yeah, yeah.
So like
It's
it's
when
awesome
yeah.
to see you do that same thing, and then you connecting with people, because I saw that show we went to in Pennsylvania together. You were fucking over. And I'm not just trying to blow smoke. Like, that crowd was into
Who
it.
that was me and Matt Quay, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun one. That was a
That was
good
an awesome match.
that's one of my favorite matches. Hell yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah, and you were connected. And then, like, I saw you not even a month or two later at UWC damn near get booed out the building. And I was just like, you are so good at connecting with the crowd and just
It's
being you. It's
that's
so
yeah.
awesome.
And that's why like it's weird to like say because
Mm,
wrestling is a make pretend sport and all that, but it's you got to be real. Like
mm,
even if you're being your character, you got to be that character. You got to make it believable. And any sense of phony or
mhm.
like that you're not going 100% with it, I guess.
Right.
I know me sitting paying as a wrestling fan, I'm gonna check out. I'm gonna be like,
Mm,
I'm not into this guy. I'm not. You're not suspending my disbelief. Like you're
right,
not. And uh, I want people to think I fucking hate them. I want
right.
people to like, and if
Oh, yeah.
no, I'm not gonna be like, hey, no, I'm just messing with you. Blah, blah, blah. Like, no, I'm gonna play the part because that's what bought me. That's what sold me as a kid and shit like
Mhm,
that. And then, yeah, if I gotta be the whole baby face thing, kind of only came to me within like the last year,
oh, yeah.
2 years, I'd say.
If you
And
ever told me you
it was
worked face, I wouldn't believe you.
yeah, it was a natural thing. Because that was my whole thing with GTS. I never wanted to turn face. I never
Right,
it wasn't that never wanted to turn face. I always wanted Philly Mike to be opposite of Grim. I
right.
always never wanted to be on Grim's side, which I've kind of gone against that now. Me and Grim are buddy. But it was because it was natural. It was and it I don't want to fight that natural turn, that like
Mhm,
natural progress. And I was a heel and people started to like me. I don't want to be the cool heel. I don't want
right.
to, oh man, I love him. He's such a cool heel. Like that's not a
Yeah,
heel.
right,
That you think I'm a cool baby face then at that point, like,
right.
and so just go with it and go with the crowd. Like that Matt Quay match, I had full intentions of working heel. I wanted to
Mhm.
fucking, I was Matt Quay is dude. It's
The
very
If
hard to work
someone
a baby
typed
face with
in
Matt
white
Quay.
meat baby face into Google, Matt Quay
Yes,
would pop up. And it's
yes.
not an
I always
insult to
said
him. I love
you
Matt.
you
But
turn on any TV sitcom and they do a wrestling episode, Matt Quay is one of
it's
the
Matt
example of the
Quay.
wrestlers you see in the ring, like killing it. The
Yep,
American Hammer, Matt
yep,
Quay, like
yep,
yeah, US. Everybody's fucking waving the little American
yep.
flags. Like it's it works. It's a fucking formula that still works. And so I was like, all right, I'm working Matt Quay in fucking central Pennsylvania. I gotta turn up the heel shit. I'm fucking Philly Mike.
Right.
And then Booker Man's like, nah. He's like, just be both work babyface, but be the aggressor. I'm like, all right, okay, that's easy enough. So
Mhm,
we both worked like neither of us really cheated, and not that I can remember that
mm-mm,
match, but we worked aggressive and shit like that.
mhm,
And it was cool because Allison Danger was at
mhm.
that show. She absolutely loved it. She pulled us
I
aside. She thought it.
Bro,
She said
I'm
it.
not
Her,
gonna lie, because I watched her critique the 2 matches beforehand. Then you guys went out and I was like, "Oh, please, please," because I
oh hell
enjoyed
yeah,
that match. I was on my seat going, "Oh,
yeah.
this is a good match." And I was like, "Oh, please don't tear them to pieces. Please don't." Like,
That's the worst, right?
they
When
did
you're
a
like,
good job.
yeah, and then
And
oh,
yeah,
like
exactly. And then they're like, "You guys did great. You did this." And I was like, "Oh, yes. Yeah."
fucking but yeah, she really enjoyed it. Her big thing to us was like if there was a match to send to a promoter, send that. Like some
Yeah.
like that was
Oh,
her.
absolutely.
Carrie Silken, another one
Mhm.
who enjoyed it big time, and Kevin Kelly was
Yeah.
there. And Kevin Kelly, and funny enough, full circle. I don't know if you know this. Kevin Kelly now owns and runs that federation, and he's the booker man there, and it's called AXW now. And uh, I was at one of their shows a couple months back. I hit them up. I was like, "Yo, I know I'm not really involved right now, but I'm not doing anything. Could I come and sell merch? Like, could I just
Mhm.
set up a table?" They're like, "Come on through. You're always welcome." Shit like that. So fucking come through. Kevin Kelly comes up to me, says, "Hey, heal up. We got big plans for you." So
Hell yeah.
hey, when Kevin Kelly tells you that,
Right?
you're gonna want to take it serious when you come back. And I look at
Absolutely.
it this way: as long as Matt Quay's there, Matt Quay's killing it. Another rematch with Matt will be fucking fun.
You better send
Hell
me that
yeah!
footage.
Oh yeah, you know it.
Because I'm
But
not
not
driving 14 hours to Jersey for any reason ever again.
yeah.
Oh dear God. I'm so sick of
Oh
being on the
man, that's
road.
rough. Yeah, I
But no,
believe it.
like you and Matt killed it that night, and I
Oh
hope
yeah, I always love working.
nothing but success for that. But
Mm-hmm.
well,
There was
that
a
leads to my
there was a
question is
what's up?
what are your plans for? Because I know you're hurt right now. I know you're on the shelf,
Oh
but
yeah,
that the sand in that
hurting.
hourglass is running out, and I know that
Oh
you're
yeah.
about to come back. When can we expect Philly Mike to come back?
There's no set thing yet. We still got some time, but
Mhm.
there's as far as we're
Mhm.
aiming towards the end of the year, maybe September-ish, November-ish,
Nice,
October,
nice.
and anywhere in that. But at the same time, I'm not gonna rush it. I'm not
Right,
gonna rush
right. Of course
anything.
not.
And I worked on a torn ACL for essentially like 4 years, basically,
Ugh,
and
don't do that.
I did that and did all I did on that.
Mhm.
So I'm excited and anticipating to see what I can do with it at 100%. Basically, well, not it
Aw.
won't be 100%, but
Eh,
it,
92.
exactly. We're in the 90s at least, and not in the negatives like we were. Um, but but yeah, I'm excited to see and feel the difference if they're like see how I move around and all that, what I can and capable of. As far as like I name dropped some people earlier who want to wrestle,
Mhm.
but the main priority right now is Jay Bougie. He's the one
Mm.
that took me out.
Yeah.
He he capitalized, which I knew he was gonna do. I put it out there. I said I was like, yo, I'm hurting. I got one last match. It's against Jay Bougie. I'm going out with a bang, and he made sure that he already beat me. He won the match, whatever. But then, dude ripped my goddamn pant leg off, smashed my
Mhm.
knee with a chair, beat, and then like him and his boy Face, Rocket,
Mm.
Shayla, they decked Riley Crow. Face laid out my girl. He and I couldn't do anything. I'm fucking
Right.
screaming. They're ripping my dude. They ripped everything off. I was and to lay there defenseless and like it's degrading.
Yeah.
It sucks. So and then that was at Smash Master, the last Smash Master show. It was Jay Bougie and Face versus Uncle Masty and JS Hawthorne and an ambulance match, and they pulled the same shit. Jay Bougie was scumbagging it left and right, and ended the show. They took away Massey in an ambulance, and it's just I sat there from my merch table, and I
Mhm.
couldn't do shit, and it's annoying. It's very
Oh,
very
yeah.
annoying, and so it's pretty clear that there's I'm not gonna come back. I'm not gonna make no comeback at some random indie shindy
Mhm.
random weekend event. It
Right.
is one guy in mind, well, two guys in mind. Faces
Mhm.
in mind too. Rockets in mind too. But Jay Bougie, he's the one. He's gonna and he's just kid thinks he can do whatever he wants, man. I think I could do whatever I want, but
I
I
was gonna
back the
say I
hell
know a
up.
certain someone that
I
feels that
I
way a lot of
yeah,
times.
and I back it up, and so does he. He backs it up too. So when you beat me, you took it, you got that one. Now let's mix it up again. Let's make it 1-1, and then we'll take it from there. How about that? Like, but yeah, Jay Bougie, he's the guy with the red dot on his head right now. He's ready.
I'm excited to see that then.
Oh yeah.
I'm excited to see the return of Philly Mike Swanson.
If it works out the way I want it to and
Mm,
happens where I want it to, it'll be worth the wait.
okay. Well, I will try to be as patient as I can to see that footage.
Oh
And
yes.
hopefully everyone else can be just a little bit more patient to see return of probably one of the best indie wrestlers that I know and have been in the ring with, Philly Mike
Eh,
Swanson.
so they like to say. Thank you. I think they're watching a different Philly Mike.
Well, I'm interested to see what the new Philly Mike's going to do.
Yep, we'll see. We'll see.
But Mikey, thank you for sitting down with me. Thank you for
Of
talking,
course.
chatting, and nothing but the most respect for you, of course. Love you to
Hell yeah,
death.
bro.
I hope
Right back at
nothing
you,
but
bro.
success for you. So,
I always put you over, Kirby. I always say you're one of the realest dudes in the room. Like, and people say I'm like you're real. I love you because you're
mhm.
real. I come across as a dickhead. You're just a nice dude. You're a genuinely nice dude, and like I always respect you for that. You're always one of my favorites, brother.
Well, thank you for that. So before we go, tell the nice folks of the internet where they can find you, Twitter, Instagram, and all that nonsense.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. This is the easy part, guys. I keep it easy for you guys. You want to follow me on Twitter at Philly Swanson. You want to follow me on Instagram at Philly Mike Swanson. Facebook, guess what? Spoiler. It's called Philly
Philly
Mike
Mike
Swanson.
Swanson.
YouTube Philly Mike Swanson. Google Philly Mike Swanson. I'm not one of those guys that makes it really hard to find. Like I like the people that are like they're kind of they don't really have that huge of a following, but their
Mm,
Twitter handle is like at the realist this, that, and the other. What that like
mm,
how the fuck am I supposed to find you, dude? Like,
mhm.
come on. Like you want to find Philly Mike, type in Philly Mike Swanson. If it doesn't come up, I'm doing something wrong. Like
Right.
then the algorithm's broke. That's what they say, right? Um, but yes, I make it pretty easy to find me. So if you can't do that, I don't know.
Well, Philly, thanks for sitting down on me. Love you to
Buy my
death.
merch
Hope
too. Buy my stuff
Yeah,
because I'm
buy this
out. I'm
man's
still out,
merch.
guys. I'm still out, guys. I'm like, yeah, I went back to work a little bit ago, but guys, I'm not wrestling. I'm not making that wrestling money yet, so I gotta depend on
Wait, you get
lighters and
paid?
t-shirts and stuff. So yeah, that's what I mean. Like, so guys, I have plenty of t-shirts. I need to get rid of them, please, so I can make room for more t-shirts to sell. So thank you
Oh.
ahead of time for buying my merch because I know you're gonna buy it. I just feel it.
Well, hell, I might order a shirt right now. But Philly, thank you for joining me. Hope nothing but,
Hell yeah.
love and success for you and fast healing, and please, from someone who has a knee injury and a literal cane in the background, don't rush it. Just
Nope.
just
Nope.
let that knee heal, and I can't wait to see what you do when you come back. But ladies and gentlemen, thank
Hell
you for
yeah.
joining us. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. As always, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, tap the little bell on your YouTube app so you never miss the uploads, and buy our shirts at prowrestlingtees.com. Thank you for joining us.